Fog ENT back with the Sopranos. Meadowlands episode 4 of season 1. We end at episode 3 with Brendan getting killed, so we're going to kick off with no continuation of that whatsoever until a wee bit later on in the episode, because Tony is having a dream here.
Hashtag justice for Brendan.
Justice for Brendan. That's it. Brendan lives matter. But Tony is having a dream here where he imagine. Oh yeah, you're onto something there. But Tony's imagining Dr. Melfi is his mother, and you've just got other weird shit going on here. You've Silvio with a stripper. You've Polly and Pussy just sitting outside looking like two dicks. His son's running about the corridors. I don't know what the gimmick was of this dream.
This family's full of fucking bums. Like, that's what I see.
Tony's like the only draw, but he's depressed. So it's like, how much can you take from it?
It's all about the family. The family sucks.
He visits his mother. His mother's just depressing. He gives her calzones, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, man. Calzones like a folded pizza. I doubt that's what he was giving her, but it was some form of food. She's like, no, maybe leave it out for the other people. Can't really do a guinea decrepit coffin dodger, but that's the impersonation we're going to go for. So he goes outside. He tells this detective, he's in Prison Break. I don't know what else he's in, but he's called Finn, right? Finn. He's a detective. It's on the
second name Ballard by any chance?
No, it's McCaslin.
Oh, there you go.
Tony's like, right, I want you to follow Melfi and, right, get me some information on her. But he assumes, right, that she's a mistress of Tony's, which is why he roughs up the guy she's with. Again, was that not a bit unnecessary of him? Pulls him over, gets him out, batters him, then comes out with you got prime rib at home and you're going for a hamburger. Tony then obviously hears Dr. Melfi talking about this and he's like, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. And then she's like, what? And he's like, I know, he just seems like an idiot. Attacking you, the guy you're out with. And then Tony, oh no, what else does he notice? He notices that Silvio sees his dentist in the same building that he sees his psychiatrist.
Yeah, then he hides in some random fucker's office. Just a bit weird, I don't get it. Man.
Fucking top man. Well, even though he's not top man, he's one of the captains, right? It just seems a bit embarrassing that he has to hide, doesn't it?
Aye.
I understand why he's hiding, right? I'm under no illusion why he's hiding.
What's more embarrassing, the fact that he's getting psychiatric treatment, or the fact he's on to hide in a fucking locker room? Well, not a locker room, an office room.
We then proceed to have some of the worst acting you'll probably see in this show when his son gets in a fight with, what is it, Anthony? I don't even know what is the guy's name. Soprano. It sounds like a Poundland name of his own name.
This wee guy doesn't look like the son of a mob boss.
I don't know what they were thinking with this casting. Honestly, I don't get this.
I'd say out of all the kids in this school, he looks like the uncoolest.
Yeah, and he's just fat. He's flabby.
Is that what they're going for?
He wears the backwards cap. I don't know what they're going. Yeah, I mean, you could maybe. Yeah, is this this? Because this kid actor doesn't strike me as a good actor.
No.
So what the fuck were they thinking? It's not like they went for McAlpine for Home Alone. How do you pronounce his name?
I know who you're on about.
Yeah, the kid for Home Alone. It's not like they went for him, right?
No, but seeing you look at these kid shows, there's always kids that stand out and you just think, he looks like a hard man or whatever. It's like Stand By Me. You know what I mean? There's a couple of nerds in there, but then there's the one that sticks up to the fucking adults.
Aye, the guy that he's feuding with here, Jeremy Pericosta.
He's more like the son
he's bigger. And it's and why is he not I don't know why they cast it.
Looks like he's in a different year.
It does, but then Tony's buying stuff at a garden centre later and he runs into that guy's dad and that guy's dad just bottles it. And then when AJ goes to fight this kid later on, he's like, oh, here's the money, mate, for your shirt.
Yeah, so there's this big showdown. The entire school gets around the fences to see this fight. You're thinking, what's going to happen? Is this fight going to be as bad as the first one? No, because we don't get a fight. The guy literally just lays down, jobs out. It's like the finger poke of doom, but without any finger pokes. Just opens up his wallet and gives him 2 fucking crinkled up $20 notes. Why not give the dollars to me? I'm fucking skint. Giving them to some fat kid that's going to spend it on ice cream. Give your money to me.
No, but it was some of the worst acting ever. Seeing the school when they were fighting, man. Horrendous.
No, but there's so much bad acting in this show. I'm actually think it might be on purpose. Maybe they think bad acting equals comedy or something. I don't know.
Or realism. I don't know if that's what they're going for, right? This is the second time watching it, so maybe it is. But, I don't really understand what's going on here. But then Meadows like, oh, well, AJ, do you know who your dad is? Well, here's a wee history lesson. And she goes through this, 90s computer fucking website about Al Capone and all, and the Colombo crew in New York. And it's like, what would they in here? That's just, incredibly cringy. You couldn't imagine fucking Breaking Bad, Walter Jr. going through his, at the end of it, going through this thing about Walter White and his empire, could you?
No,
it would just be explained better. I don't know. This just came across as very weird, and then we'll get to the point where he's at the end. But anyway, Christopher, he's released from hospital. It's a very meme and iconic look of him wearing the neck brace. But again, he almost wears it for the whole episode. Why? What got done to him? And then his knees are absolutely done in.
Yeah, all his knees are cut for some reason. I mean,
I'm going to assume his knees are done because when he get dragged out to the Meadowlands, so to speak, the pier, that's when his knees get done in. But I don't know, man. He's freaking out. He thinks Tony's after him. Adriana's trying to reassure him. Then they show up at Brendan's house. He's like, right, we've got a score. And ask Brendan, but what the hell's going on? Then she goes to use the toilet, and Brendan's dead. The blood's in the bathtub, so Chris
laying there in the bathtub with flies flying at his head.
Yeah.
Not a good ending. Brendan deserved better.
He did. I mean, see, for such a character that actually was a big deal in the first 3 episodes, he fucking... He get hee-haw. Then Chris and Adriana show up at Meadows School thinking that she jobbed him out. And then she's like, no, I didn't. And Christopher's like, I'll buy you one of those Happy Meals. That's blasphemy. Don't be suicidal. And then, I'll tell you what, right? You see if anyone is sitting here hoping that these two are going to have a... What is he? If he's Tony's nephew... Uncle? He's not really the uncle.
Second cousin.
Aye, second cousin sort of deal. If anyone's thinking that these two are going to have a relationship, if he's going to mentor her and sell her drugs for 6 seasons, this is where it ends. These two literally have no conversation past this point, which is very fucking weird in my opinion. Because they've set it up.
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of conversations in the first 4 episodes. So
yeah, I mean, it literally ends at this point. Don't know why. Christopher the
Happy
junkie.
Meal must have tasted like shit.
Yeah, we then have Tony sitting down with the captains about Jackie Aprile because he's on his deathbed. He aged 60 years last episode, but he's aged another 60 here. So the captains are at this point. You've got Tony, you've got the fat guy. I can't even remember the fat guy's name. You've got Larry, and then you've got the other guy. The names will come back to me, right? But see, at this point, you literally don't know their names. You don't you not?
Nope.
You literally don't. It's not explained very well. Christopher then barges in when they're sitting at his deathbed. He's like, right, Brendan was killed. It was fucking Uncle Junior. It was Mikey. I want revenge. Christopher then storms out. But as Christopher's trying to explain this, you've Polly and Thingy discussing it about it was through the eye, which means it was a Uncle Junior kill, and it almost kind of took away from the seriousness of it, didn't it?
Why, is that his trademark?
That's his trait, but see the way he was trying to explain that to him, but then Christopher's trying to explain it to Tony in the background. It's like, who the fuck came up with this idea of this shot? I don't know, I thought it sucked. What do you think? When he's trying to explain it to him in the hospital? Well, Chris is explaining it to Tony, but then we get a different camera angle of Polly and Pussy talking about it. What do you think of that?
It was a bit weird,
It was a bit weird. Tony then grabs a nail gun. Then it's like, you know what? I'm going to go over to Mikey. Grabs Mikey out the car and starts hitting him with a nail gun. Again, very shitty acting in my opinion, wasn't it?
It just seems like a comical thing. Oh, look, he's using a nail gun on him.
Yeah, I know. And then he storms in the Junior's shop and he's like, "Did you kill Brendan?" And then I agree with Junior. Yeah, he killed Brendan, but I mean, how many times can the guy get his shoes pissed on?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, "Oh, I didn't kill Chris because I want Chris to be a part of my crew." Tony's like, "Well, that's not happening." And then he's like, "Next time you come in here, you come in heavy, or not at all." Again, random outbursts. Tony can't believe that Junior's actually went to these extreme actions. But again, what are we running here? We're running a fucking mob. How many times is this guy who's been quoted by all these guys here as old school? I'd like to see what would happen if Junior had Chris and Brendan working for him going against Tony and his crew.
Yeah, I think Junior would be pissed off that he just lost a A guy? But,
Yeah, exactly. So Tony, he's been told to come back heavy the next time he comes in. But again, Christopher's no happy because he goes to his drug corner. The guy's like, I don't have to give you shit. I gave it to Junior. Christopher then beats the guy up with a yo-yo. Again, incredibly bad. Like this black guy who's like got 2 foot on Chris gets beat up by Chris who's wearing a neck brace. I just thought this sucked.
Didn't look very realistic to me.
It looked very cheap, right? Then on the news, Jackie Aprile passes away. Tony's like grating here. He's taking a shot and he's like, holy fuck, man. This ain't good. This ain't good whatsoever. You've got Polly and Silvio, like they're all consoling Tony. Then Christopher comes in, basically wanting revenge, saying that Junior has to die. Final scene for what was it? Scarface? 2 bazookas? Say hello to my little friend. And then he keeps on pressing Tony, and the other guys are telling him, right, Chris, relax, don't say any more. And it just seems like a comedy. And then Tony basically fucking grabs him, like, you don't tell me what the fuck to do. And it's like, finally, Tony's actually stepped up to the task here. And then Silvio's like, oh, Junior's going to get some serious retaliation here, serious revenge. Tony walks in with a gun, whips the gun out, turns around and says, right, Junior, I've came in heavy, buddy. And you know what?
One gun, fuck. Super heavy.
I know, super heavy. Well, he's a fat bastard, so like, I think that's maybe what he
Came
meant.
in heavy, just had a fucking Big Mac meal at McDonald's.
That's it. He says to Junior, right, the Sopranos been waiting a long time to take the reins here, and I want it to be you, Uncle June. And that's it. That's the entire situation diffused. What did you think of that?
Junior gets up, has a hug with him, and you're thinking, really? So you just kill his nephew's best friend who's been working for Tony, and no retaliation, no fucking fight back, no nothing. Just walk in and say, "Aye, look, you should take leadership."
See, to be honest, I'm not really expecting serious retaliation about the whole Brandon thing. It's just about all their other outstanding issues. Like, you clearly see there's a fucking rift here, and it just ends like that.
Yeah, they made it feel like whoever takes over, whoever be the next man in charge, is like an important thing. But then Tony just seems to like give him it. The blue is like, you should be in
and
charge.
like we heard Silvio and all talking about, oh, Junior is going to be held to pay and all. It's going to be, remember they quote it, the war in '99.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, guys. That's it done. And then Tony whispers in his ear, oh, can you give us East? I think it's Bloomfield and some other street name. And Junior's like, aye, that's all right, because I'm the big man. And then we get the funeral of Jackie Aprile, who is kind of made to be like a big character, but he's just not, in my opinion. Like, he's just not.
Jackie Aprile lasted 4 episodes.
Exactly. We didn't get to see him till the second one. Then we get the funeral. We get AJ.
Did
Tony.
we ever see him when he wasn't lying in bed looking like shit?
We did get the sit down after the first incident of the hijacking. Remember, he was sitting at the butchers, whatever you want to call it. But then we get the funeral scene. We get Junior. He's thinking he's top man. Tony's basically explaining to his crew that I'm running things, but Junior thinks he's running things, so he's going to sit happy as Larry. And then we get his mother sitting there beside Junior, looking like she's a fucking rock. It's like, hold on here, you've got hee-haw. And then we've got the FBI like watching on, taking pictures. AJ's looking at Tony, thinking about, oh, so my dad is a gangster. Then Tony's like, well, basically, I'm the guy in charge, but Junior's going to take the fall if anything happens in terms of the police. So again, it's like a shite bag backdoor tactic, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm the man, but
I'm not taking responsibility. I'm passing the buck.
it's like Clay going to Jax. You know what, Jax? You're going to be president because
I'm calling the shots.
I'm calling the shots as VP, but you're president in case
Any shit goes down.
it just seems very cheap, very embarrassing. Meanwhile, at the end of the episode, Tony's like, you know what, actually, I'm going to stay in therapy because Carmella taught me to. And that is where we're going to end this episode,
Well,
guys.
basically gave him an ultimatum, kind of. Like, if you don't, the marriage is over. That's
But
what I
again,
got from it.
no, I don't get, because they're very religious, even though, I mean,
Like, I mean,
Are they
Tony seems to fucking hate his life. Why would he care if she fucking split up with him?
he sleeps with numerous women, right? He doesn't seem to really care about his kids, in my opinion, that much, does he?
No.
He played Mario Kart with him in this episode. What did he fucking do?
Right, cheat it.
Exactly, cheat it, right? And that's where it ends, guys. The war between Tony and Junior's crew is at an end because Junior's in charge. And yeah, that's it. The stuff that we built up 4 episodes is
Diffused.
so it basically tells you, like, it's almost like they done what season 1 could have been. in 4 episodes. I know what happens throughout the rest of the season. This guy doesn't. I'm going to give this episode a 6. I felt like it did some stuff really well. Like, it felt important. Like, but then again, there was some really bad acting and some really cheap ass scenes. So I'm getting it a 6. What are you getting it?
I'll give it a 7. It was alright. Like, I'll give it a 7.
But see, watching The Sopranos, can you not struggle to see like why? Like, how could you actually give an episode of this a 10? Because a lot of it just seems cheap.
No, I could see an episode getting a 10. I just don't really see where an episode. I just don't really see
The show.
I don't see how. Yeah, I just don't really see people coming where they're coming from when they claim this is the best show of all time.
And that's it, guys. He's not convinced. I'm not convinced. Next episode is episode 5. That is called College. We'll do a couple of fairy fids because I think this episode warrants them. And until next time, 6.5 out of 10. Peace.